Did everyone write down in their notebook the definitions? Is there anyone pending to write? Why is only one person speaking up? I'll call one by one. Roll number by
No, sir.
then speak up. Okay, which all journal entries did we do? Again, there is no communication. Okay,
So
fine.
we did import of goods or services.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes, please go ahead. Then,
export of goods and services or
correct,
service.
correct. So can somebody tell me in import of goods or services, how many entries do we have? How many entries did we write down? At what all stages do we have to record the transactions? Did we not do that? We have to record at three different stages. One at the time of initial recognition, that is nothing but at the time of first initial transaction, that is when you import. Then at the time of settlement of liability, that means when you pay. And third, at the time of balance sheet date, that is your closing entries. Now when it comes to closing entries, can I say that you learned two entries? One for revaluation of your monetary item, that is your creditors, and second to transfer your net profit or net loss on account of foreign exchange fluctuation to profit and loss account. Now I'll tell you one thing. Why am I focusing or practicing more about these entries? Because the whole chapter is based on these entries only. This 7-8 entries what you learned last time, this is the whole chapter. So if you know, if you understand these entries, then there is no problem in the whole chapter only. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I request everyone, I give you 2 minutes to go through all the entries, then we will discuss all the entries again. Please go through it, so that what happens is that you know at the back of the mind, and when I discuss, then it becomes foolproof for you. So please, you have written down all the entries in the book. Please go through those entries. If at all you have doubt, you ask me, otherwise I'll revise and then we'll go ahead. Let's discuss the entries. Now, in case of import of goods or services, the first is when the goods are imported or services are rendered. In that case, it is import purchase to supplier or maybe creditors. Now, this is the normal entry we pass, like purchase to supplier is the normal entry we pass, just that it is an import purchase, we write down as import purchase. Going ahead, when we are paying to the supplier, then the entry normally we pass is supplier account debit to bank account. But here we are paying in foreign currency. Hence, any increase or decrease in the foreign currency exchange rate will affect in a profit or maybe a loss to us. In case of a loss, the loss is debited to foreign exchange fluctuation account, and if it is a gain, it is credited again to the same account, foreign exchange fluctuation account. I repeat, just because we are paying in foreign currency, there may be a profit or loss. Now, how do we recognize that profit or a loss? We compare the foreign exchange rate when at the time of import purchase we had accounted for at a particular rate, and now we are paying at a particular rate. Say for example, when we had purchased, we had accounted at a rate $1 is equal to 50 rupees, and when we are paying at $1 is equal to 52 rupees. That means we had accounted our liability to pay at $1 is equal to 50, but on actual payment we are paying at 52. Now, when we are paying at 52, that means in comparison to our liability recorded in the books of account, we are paying 2 rupees extra. Now, this 2 rupees extra, what we are paying is on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. So, any profit or any loss on account of foreign exchange fluctuation will go in foreign exchange fluctuation account. It may so happen that when we had accounted the purchase, we had accounted a liability payment at rupees $1 is equal to 50 rupees. But when we are actually paying, it may be a case where we are paying at $1 is equal to 47. That means we are paying 3 rupees per dollar less. Now, when we are paying less, it's a profit for us, right? We were supposed to pay at 50 rupees, but now we are paying at 47. So, can I say that our liability is reduced by 3 rupees per dollar? Now, that liability, what is reduced is on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. Hence, the profit should go in foreign exchange fluctuation account. Did everybody understand? Any doubts, any questions over here? I am
Yes.
presuming that you have
No,
understood,
sir.
and yeah, I'm okay. Thank you so much. If at all you have doubt, please unmute yourself and ask me. Now the payment is done. Okay, now it comes for a balance sheet date. Okay, and on balance sheet date we are accounting only for the outstanding balance. See, I have written down in the bracket for outstanding balance. Okay, I repeat, on the balance sheet date we are looking only for the outstanding balance. Outstanding balance means the amount which is still payable to the supplier. If there is any on the balance sheet date, then we will account for it. Why do we have to account for it? Listen to that carefully. Can I say that suppliers are monetary items? We have learned in the definitions what are monetary items, what are non-monetary items, right? Can I say that the suppliers or creditors account is a monetary item? We know how much we are supposed to pay. It is fixed or it can be determinable, correct? As per rules and regulations of accounting standard 14, yeah, it's 14. No, I'm sorry, it is accounting standard 11. Sorry. As per accounting standard 11, all the monetary items should be reported. I repeat, all the monetary items should be reported on the balance sheet at closing rate. I repeat, all the monetary items should be reported in the balance sheet at closing rate. Now, what do you mean by closing rate? Closing rate means the rate at balance sheet date. Closing rate is the rate at balance sheet date. So, can I say that when we had purchased, we had recorded at $1 is equal to 50 rupees, which was the rate on the date of purchase. So the suppliers are recorded in the books of accounts at $1 is equal to 50. That is our initial recognition rate. But now on the balance sheet date, we come to know that $1 is equal to 51. So can I say that we will have to revalue our monetary item to 51. We are supposed to pay $10,000 to the supplier, which is outstanding. That means we have still not paid on the balance sheet date. So can I say that we will revalue our monetary item, that is creditors, from 50 to 51. That means, can I say we will have to pass entry for 1 rupee. We will have to increase our creditors by 1 rupee. When we say we will have to increase our creditors, can I say that there is a loss for us? We'll have to pay creditors more. It's a loss for us. Now this loss is arising because of change in foreign exchange rate, because of foreign exchange fluctuation. Can I say it is foreign exchange fluctuation loss? Hence, it should go to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. It's a loss for us. So, can I say foreign exchange fluctuation account should be debited by 1 rupee into $10,000, that is 10,000 rupees, and creditors or suppliers should be increased. So, to creditors account 10,000. In the same way, on the balance sheet date, it may so happen that we have valued our liability of payment to creditors at 50 rupees, but now it is 46. So we are supposed to pay 4 rupees per dollar less. When we are paying less, it's a profit for us on account of foreign exchange fluctuation, on account of change in foreign exchange rate. Whenever there is a profit on account of foreign exchange fluctuation, the profit should be credited to foreign exchange fluctuation account. So can I say we will reduce our creditors and we will report our profit on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. So supplier account debit to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Now this entry is in case of foreign exchange fluctuation gain. At the end of the year, we close down our foreign exchange fluctuation account. The net profit or the net loss is transferred to profit and loss account. So, if it is a net loss, profit and loss account debit to foreign exchange fluctuation. If it is a net profit or net gain, foreign exchange fluctuation account debit to profit and loss account. Any doubts over here? Any questions? Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, let us revise for export of goods. Export of goods, that means we are selling goods to someone outside the country. So it's a customer or a debtor for us. Debtors account debit to export sales. Now on this day, we will pass the entry at in INR, that is our reporting currency. But we have done transaction in a foreign currency. So we will have to convert the foreign currency transaction into reporting currency. So we will find out the exchange rate of the date on which export happened and we record in our books of accounts. So when we record in our books of accounts, say for example, we recorded at $1 is equal to 70 rupees. We exported goods when the exchange rate was $1 is equal to 70. Now when we are receiving payment, okay, from the debtors, we will receive money. When we receive money, we write down, we pass an entry as bank account debit to debtors account. Now when we receive money, we go to the bank, we will receive dollars. The other party, the debtor, will pay us dollars. We will have to convert those dollars into INR. Now when we go to the bank and we convert those dollars into INR, we get to know that the banker says that $1 is equal to 72 rupees. So can I say that when banker says $1 is equal to 72 rupees, you say that okay fine, give me. When you go and report in the books of accounts, you check that when I sold the goods, I had reported a receivable. I repeat, when I had sold those goods, I had reported a receivable at 70 rupees, but I am receiving at 72. I am receiving more than what I had recorded. So it is a profit for me. I am receiving more. When I am receiving more, I will check why did I receive more. I am receiving more on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. Hence, the profit should be credited to foreign exchange fluctuation account. So our entry will be bank account debit to customer to foreign exchange fluctuation account. In the same manner, when we are closing down our books on the balance sheet date for the outstanding balance. Now outstanding balance, here I am talking about amount receivable, that is the debtors. Is, can I say debtors is a monetary item? Monetary item should be valued at closing rate. Closing rate means rate on the balance sheet date. So when I go and see, I am supposed to receive $5,000 from that customer. So I will see the rate on the balance sheet date, $1 is equal to 74. How much I have recorded? $1 is equal to 70. That means, can I say that I have to receive 4 rupees per dollar from that customer extra? If I am supposed to receive more, it's profit for me. This profit is on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. Hence, I should credit the profit to foreign exchange fluctuation account and increase the amount receivable from that debtor. So the entry should be customer account debit or debtors account debit to foreign exchange fluctuation account. In the same manner, say for example, I had recorded that I will receive from the debtor $1 is equal to 70 rupees. But on balance sheet date, I get to know that my exchange rate is $1 is equal to 69. So I receive 1 rupee less. It's a loss for me. I'm receiving less. This loss is on account of change in foreign exchange rate, that is foreign exchange fluctuation. So the loss should be debited to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Foreign exchange fluctuation account debit to customers or debtors account. At the end of the year, I'll close down my books of accounts. I will close down my foreign exchange fluctuation account. The net profit or the net loss on account of foreign exchange fluctuation should be transferred to profit and loss account. So if it's a net loss, it should be an entry as profit and loss account debit to foreign exchange fluctuation. Wherein if it is a net gain, then the entry will be foreign exchange fluctuation account debit to profit and loss account. Is it understood? Any doubt? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, class, everyone. This is the question over here. Uh, I have the questions written down in a PDF. Is it fine that if I send it to you all the PDF so that you can copy the questions later on in your notebook, or you can keep it as a PDF? Or do you want to copy it right now in the lecture? Yes. I did not receive any communication from you all. Do you want to write down questions here itself, or will you write down those questions later on in the notebook? Okay, do one thing. Today we will write over here. Next time onwards you will copy it. Chalo, write down. We just have 20-25 minutes from now. Copy down. We'll just solve first question. For the next question onwards, you will copy it down in your notebook and keep it so that we don't waste time. Copy down the question fast. Is it copied?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rajesh Limited imported goods on 20th January 2019 from Jackie Chan Limited of USA for US dollar 2 lakh. The payment for the same was made as under US dollar 1,50,000 27th February 2019 and US dollar 50,000 15th March 2019. The exchange rate for US dollar 1 was as follows: 20th January 47.5, 27th February 46.5 and 15th March 48. Pass necessary journal entries in the books of Rajesh Limited. Now, whenever we are solving any of the questions in this chapter, we will always go in the chronological order of the date. Okay, whichever date comes first, the entry on that particular date will be passed. Please prepare a journal for one full page. I hope everybody knows the format of a journal: date, particulars, ledger folio, debit, credit. Date, particulars, ledger folio, debit, credit. Prepare that one full page. Let's start with the solution.
Yes, sir.
What is the first date? The first date given to us in the question is 20th of Jan 2019, and on that date the transaction is import of goods from Jackie Chan Limited for US dollar 2 lakhs. The exchange rate given to us in the question for 20th Jan is 47. So can I say that we will pass an entry for import purchase? The entry will be import purchase account debit to Jackie Chan Limited. We are writing down in the books of Rajesh Limited, who will have a reporting currency of rupees, that is INR. So we will write down all the entries in INR. They have purchased for US dollar 2 lakhs when the exchange rate was rupees 47. So can I say that the import purchase account or Jackie Chan Limited account will be debited or credited by 2 lakh into 47, that is 94 lakhs. Writing down narration is very important, and in the narration it is necessary for you all to mention the exchange rate at which the transaction was recorded. I repeat, it is very important for you to write down the narration, and in the narration the most important thing is to write down the exchange rate at which the transaction was recorded. Is it done?
Yes, sir.
What will be the next transaction? Can somebody tell me? Can I say that it is simple that we have to go date by date? Next date comes this 15th of Feb, and on 15th of Feb, what is happening? What is happening on 15th of Feb? I would require some type of responses. It's good that you speak
So
up.
it's 27th Feb.
Sorry, 27th of Feb. What is happening on 27th of Feb?
Payment.
A payment of 1,50,000 US dollar is done. What will be the entry for payment? Can I say when you are paying to a creditor, entry is creditor's account debit to bank. Now, as it is foreign exchange transaction, we will check for foreign exchange fluctuation, gain or loss. We had reported the initial transaction in regards to which payment is done. That is the purchase transaction. We get to know that at the time of purchase, we had recorded the entry at $1 is equal to 47. We had reported a liability at 47 rupees, and when we are settling the liability, that is we are paying at 46.50. We are paying 50 paise per dollar less. When I say that we are paying 50 paise per dollar less, that means it's a profit or gain for us on account of foreign exchange fluctuation. It means that gain has to be credited to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Now everybody please listen to me, do not write anything. When we are paying, entry is Jackie Chan Limited account debit to bank account. We also know that there is foreign exchange fluctuation gain. Gain has to be credited to foreign exchange fluctuation account. So our entry is Jackie Chan Limited account debit to bank account to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Now everybody please listen to me. Here it comes the whole twist. Jackie Chan Limited account debit to bank account to foreign exchange fluctuation account. Now the question should be, which account should be debited with how much amount, credited with how much amount? Listen to me. We are settling our liability of $1,50,000. Okay. Jackie Chan Limited does not know that you are converting at 47, you are converting at 45, you are converting at 50. It does not matter to them. Okay, what matters to them is 1,50,000. So can I say that Jackie Chan Limited should be debited with US dollar 1,50,000 into 47, the reported liability, and we are paying 46.50 only. So from the bank account, can I say it will be 1,50,000 into 46.50. The balance foreign exchange fluctuation account. Now that 50 paise profit is on $1,50,000. So 1,50,000 into 0.5. So this should be the entry. Please check. Jackie Chan Limited account debit US dollar 1,50,000 into 47 to bank account 1,50,000 into 46.50 to foreign exchange fluctuation 1,50,000 into 50. Now, as this is the first question, please write down the amount what you have written, what I have written in the brackets. 1,50,000 into 47, 1,50,000 into 46, 1,50,000 into 0.5. But you are not expected to write the calculations in the exam. As it is the first question, I have written down. Ahead, I may not write, but yes, I'll explain. In exam, you are not expected to write. Now, after 27th of Feb, next entry what we will have is 15th of March. Now, on 15th of March, what is happening? We are paying 50,000 US dollar. Now, when we are paying 50,000 US dollar, we check the foreign exchange rate. We get to know that we are paying at 48 rupees. We had recorded our liability at 47 and we are paying at 48. So, can I say that we are paying 1 rupee extra? When we pay extra, it's a loss for us, and this extra what we pay is on account of foreign exchange fluctuations. Hence, the entry should be Jackie Chan Limited account debit, foreign exchange fluctuation account debit to bank account, and the amount will be calculated as 50,000 into 47, 50,000 into 1, and to bank 50,000 into 48. Copy down this entry. Is it copied? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any more transactions left? Kindly check.
No, sir.
We still have one more transaction left, that is on balance sheet date. I told you that we have to check on balance sheet date. Do we have any amount receivable or payable on balance sheet date in relation to this transaction? Check. Do we have any monetary item left to be revalued at closing rate? We had imported for $2 lakh. We were supposed to pay $2 lakh. We paid $1,50,000. We paid $50,000. So can I say we paid in full? That means we do not have any monetary item to be revalued on closing date. Fine. So we skip that entry. But can I say that on balance sheet date, we will close down our foreign exchange fluctuation account and transfer the net profit or net loss to profit and loss account? We need to pass this entry. So we go through all the transactions, we get to know that on 27th of Feb, we had a gain of 75,000 and on 15th of March, we had a loss of 50,000. We first had a gain of 75, then we had a loss of 50. So can I say that we will have a net gain of 25,000? First we had profit of 75, then we had a loss of 50. So 75 profit minus 50 loss. So we still have a profit of 25,000. That has to be transferred to profit and loss account. When the net gain on account of foreign exchange fluctuation is transferred to profit and loss, the entry will be foreign exchange fluctuation account debit 25,000 to profit and loss account 25,000. Paying net foreign exchange gain 75,000 gain minus loss 50,000 transferred to profit and loss account. Kindly pass this entry. Is it done?
Yes.
Any doubts, any questions, any queries? We'll have to close down for financial accounting and start with information technology, IT. I, in this meeting, everyone is requested to join in the IT next scheduled meeting. Leave from here, join over there.